Picture Eurasia, roughly 30,000 years ago. You are a hunter-gatherer, living through the Ice Age. Your small band moves constantly. Winter is brutal, and starvation is a daily threat. But the cold isn't your biggest problem. Out in the shadows, just past the firelight, things are moving. Wolves dominated this landscape. They hunted in organized packs, possessed massive jaw strength, and had eyes heavily adapted for zero-light conditions. A human on foot was slow, fragile, and essentially blind in the dark. Yet out of all the animals in this hostile environment, this terrifying apex predator is the one single creature that eventually curled up beside us and became our closest companion. Biologically, this is a massive paradox. A vulnerable primate and a highly effective carnivore competing for the exact same prey are natural enemies, yet they formed a permanent alliance. The classic myth suggests an ancient human found a litter of wild wolf pups, took one back to camp, and actively trained it to be a loyal hunting companion through sheer force of will. Biology suggests otherwise. Wild wolves are strictly wild animals. Even a wolf pup raised with constant human contact and warmth will, as an adult, retain dangerous, unpredictable predatory instincts that make it a threat to its human handlers. Humans did not choose wolves. Opportunistic wolves chose us. Early human camps produced enormous amounts of garbage, leftover bones, skins, and scraps. To a scavenging wolf, an Ice Age human camp was a moving pile of free calories. The wolves that survived the best were the ones born slightly less fearful of humans. They got close to the fire, ate the scraps, and successfully passed those calmer traits down to their puppies. Over generations, natural selection filtered the animals based entirely on personality. To see how behavior reshapes biology, we look to the Soviet Union in the 1950s. A geneticist named Dmitry Belyaev wanted to test domestication under clinical conditions, conducting his secret studies under the guise of the fur industry. Belyaev selected a population of silver foxes and bred them using exactly one rule: only select the individuals that displayed the absolute least fear and aggression toward human handlers. He didn't train them, he just bred the tamest foxes together, over and over. This is a flowchart mapping the genetic linkage of the unintended physical consequences that followed. When Belyaev selected for a low fear response, it triggered a biological chain reaction. Within decades, the friendly foxes developed floppy ears, curly tails, and spotted coats. Scientists call this package deal of genetic mutations domestication syndrome. These traits are linked on a deep cellular level. When an animal's stress response drops over generations, its appearance automatically softens. Because of this biological cascade, the wolves scavenging Ice Age garbage began morphing physically into dog-like creatures long before humans intentionally bred them. Their brains were rewiring as well. This is a bar chart comparing the success rates of a chimpanzee, a human-raised wolf, and an untrained dog puppy in a test to locate hidden food, using nothing but a human pointing at the correct becket. Chimpanzees and wolves mostly fail this test, but untrained dog puppies instinctively understand what human pointing means, demonstrating a unique genetic capacity for human-focused social cognition. As they evolved beside us, dogs developed a specific facial muscle above their eyebrows called the levator anguli oculi medialis. Wild wolves do not have this muscle. This muscle lifts the inner brow to create a sad, pleading expression. This appearance triggered human caregiving instincts, ensuring that dogs with puppy eyes received more food and protection than those without. The most significant divergence between the two species happens in the eyes. For wild wolves, direct eye contact is a violent dominance challenge. Dogs, however, actively seek out human eye contact to gather information and assess our intent. When a dog and a human lock eyes, both brains release an oxytocin loop. This is the exact same bonding hormone that human mothers and infants release when they look at each other. Evolution physically and chemically rewired a pack-hunting carnivore to bond directly with the human emotional system. That natural process of self-domestication ended once humans invented agriculture. We settled into permanent villages and took active control over canine genetics. By the 19th century Victorian era, dog breeding became a competitive obsession. Breeders focused on strict aesthetics, establishing formal breed standards based on exact physical requirements rather than hunting or herding ability. Selective breeding worked with astonishing speed to dismantle the wolf body plan. In roughly 15,000 years, humans produced hundreds of different configurations, ranging from the Great Dane to the Bulldog. Most of the dog breeds we recognize today are recent developments, largely detached from the survival conditions that originally forged the species. Back in the Ice Age, dogs were essential survival technology. They provided a living alarm system with senses far superior to ours, allowing hunters to track and corner prey across miles of freezing terrain. In Germany, archaeologists excavated a 14,000-year-old burial site containing a man, a woman, and a dog. Analysis revealed the dog had suffered a severe illness as a puppy, but survived for months afterward because its human companions actively nursed it back to health. Investing precious calories and time into a sick animal reveals a relationship that moved beyond simple utility into genuine attachment. Of all the animals we domesticate, dogs are the only ones who actively chose us. This accidental partnership gave early humans a significant survival advantage, shaping the trajectory of our species as we expanded across the planet.